We are live and you're in the one place to get all the latest transfer news. We get pelters daily. Daily pelters. I mean, Dybala, Dybala news last week. Pelters. But the Teflon Dons, it just bounces off of us. Bang, because we can take it. Because we're here to give you the news early. We've got to take risks. And that's what we're about. But I tell you what, the news is right in the end, weren't it? All right. So we're going to go a little bit deeper. We've got a little bit on Cristiano Ronaldo going AWOL. We've got a little bit for Leeds fans, and a little bit for Arsenal fans, and a little bit for Newcastle and Everton fans. So make sure you get your cup of teas ready, get your feet up, and get ready for the transfer exchange show. Let's go. Welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show. We are live, and I'm joined by Steve. K, how you doing, Steve?
Yeah, how you doing, mate? How you doing? Great speech there. You saved me a job because I was going to go all in today on quite, and not just that one. You know, there's others. There's others that we're going to talk about tonight that we've got called frauds, clan. You don't know what you're talking about. You know, I've got at least four.
The best one that I gave a little like to yesterday, was when the Dybala post went up, and someone immediately went, "Lies! I've unfollowed," and I was like, "All right,
see you later."
Let's jog on down to that comment a week later and be like, "Excuse me, mate, we're still here, and the news is out." So, what are you saying?
Yeah. It's not many. It's one of many, mate. One of many. That one is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But let's go. We've got plenty to discuss tonight. Let's start at Man United. It seems to be the busiest place at the moment. Obviously, we've seen Christian Eriksen sign on the dotted line. First of all, Steve, was that a surprise for you, considering the noise that was coming out was that he potentially wanted to stay in London?
What he did, he again, this is one that we can, bring up the fact that everybody said that we rejected the move. The facts are that he did reject the move at the beginning, but they had more talks, and in the end, they've convinced him to stay. So, I suppose in that sense, we rejected him from the off. It was quite a surprise but it just shows how much Man United wanted the player. We were the first again. I know we was the first because I got wind early that morning that everything was done and agreed. But I wasn't that sure 100% that I could put up on the page that it was done. But I knew they was having talks that morning. I knew that a new conversation had been had. I knew that it had been accepted, but I did not know the answer from Christian Eriksen. But we was there first, and about an hour later, it come out, fee agreed, done, bish, bash, bosh. Another one for the transfer exchange show. But Kears, I don't know what you think, but I think it's a great sign.
I think it's an excellent signing for Man United. Look, they didn't utilise one matter in the final two or three seasons or 2.5 seasons that he was there, which was criminal considering if you look at the stats that he produced prior to that. He didn't have the best pace, but there's a lot of things these other players do. These magicians, and if you can. You don't have to build a team around them, but you can have elements of your game that are geared towards them. Or if you want to change up a game, that you're making sure that it's focused around those players because they can unlock a lot of things. And as we've seen with Christian Eriksen when he was at Tottenham, he went from a good player to you have to say on the brinks of a world-class player, and then went to Inter Milan, and the move wasn't quite right. So hearing that. Conte was looking at him. It never really felt that it made sense to me because it didn't work with him when he was at Inter Milan. So I don't see how it could potentially work when he's at Tottenham because it's 2 years on and he's had heart issues. So I just don't see. I didn't see it. But yeah, for Man United, top signing, especially. Considering the situation they're in now, we might as well go straight to this one. Cristiano Ronaldo's gone AWOL, as we've seen the last few days. But Steve, you got a little bit of an update on that?
Yeah, a little bit of an update. We know that Cristiano Ronaldo's private jet flew out of Lisbon literally hours ago. We don't know if he was on that plane. So that's something that we'll find out later. The fact that they don't know, I would have thought if he was on it, they'd know he was on it. I mean, but that's another thing. But where will he go is the interesting thing. We know he wants to leave. It's definitely not worth keeping an unhappy Ronaldo at the club. It's just going to turn into this big circus if he stays for another year. So best thing they can do is get him out. There's been rumours of Bayern Munich. They've ruled themselves out of the running for him.
They've got PSG ruled themselves out, didn't they?
Yeah, Chelsea don't want him. Well, I say Chelsea don't want him, but just because I think the owner seems to want him, but maybe Tuchel doesn't. I don't know, or maybe it was the other one way or the other. But I thought I heard that the Chelsea hierarchy was interested in bringing him in.
Yeah, I think it was Todd Broley. He was the one that said he would bring him in. He'd put up the funds to bring him in, but only if it had the green light from Thomas Tuchel, which is what you want from to hear from your owner. Yeah,
and I mean, it's hard to say with Cristiano Ronaldo because look, he's the GOAT. I mean, we know he's the GOAT, but is it a step back now for teams to bring him in? If you're looking at a Bayern Munich or a Barcelona or a Chelsea, is he a step back? Is it what comes with him too much? I think you find a problem. He may even go to a club like something like he may go back to Sporting. He might go back to Napoli, who have been mentioned recently. But I mean, I don't know what you're thinking is, Kears. Where do you think he'll end up? I really don't know. It's a tough one.
Yes, it is a tough one because he's kind of backed himself in a corner, really. Like, because you've said to the Man United fans you want out. You said you'll be respectable, but you've then jetted off on a plane for a few days to Portugal, and you've openly come out and stated that you want to leave. And that also came out in the papers. So, I mean, how respectable are you? I think those are just words. He wants out for a reason. For me, it makes sense that the reason why he wants out because look, Cristiano Ronaldo is all about image. Is all about he can't be seen to be dropping down a level at a certain age because people would expect that. People would expect as you get older, you'd probably drop down a level. You probably drop down, but he wants his legacy to be that I have been at every single top club. I played in the Champions League every single season back to back. To have that one season in the Europa League and then go back, it's gonna kill that perfect kind of flow that's his thing.
Do you blame him?
I don't blame him. I don't blame him because he's too old to start again. He ain't, and Messi was the same. Messi was the same. He was at Barcelona, and for him, it felt probably like do you know what? I felt like a bit too much to start again. I'll stay, but on different certain circumstances, which didn't really meet the thing. But Ronaldo, it's like, look, I don't know where he's going to end up because there's not that many teams that can afford him.
Yeah. He's obviously not seeing like a vision to, with Manchester. He can't be happy with what he's seeing. He must be asking who's coming in, who's being signed, what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's obviously been told what's happening, and he's obviously not happy, and he don't feel that United are going to challenge for trophies next season. I can't think of any other way, really.
I think the same. I think if you someone like Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be told maybe not every single last detail of what's going down to make him stay, but he's going to be fed a few stories to say, look, this is what we're going to go for. This is what we're going to do next season. So don't worry about that. It's like those words will be had. And also him leaving, I think I think it will impact on other people coming in. If I'm honest, the De Jong thing, which I'm sure we'll get onto next, that just it never really felt like it was on. It was on with regards to the two clubs, because Barcelona are always willing to listen to offers to sell their players.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
When you're talking about the player himself and where he stands on it and wherever he wants to go, again, and how much has that played in the Cristiano Ronaldo wanting to thinking, do you know what? Nah, this ain't happening this season. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But Ronaldo, it's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Yeah, it's the circus that's going to come round it. It's just not worth it. Just get him out. Get out. Get 20 million for him. Put him towards your budget and get him out. Because look, at the end of the day, Kieran, they're going to have to start again next. They're going to have the same conversation, circus, the same thing going on again next year, because he's not staying next year. They're not going to keep him for another year. They're not going to sign him up for another 2 years. They want a new striker. They probably got him already. They probably got him, signed, sealed, and delivered for next season. So get rid of him now. Get some money of him. Makes all the sense in the world. Next year you're not going to get anything for him. Just move on. That maybe hard for Man United fans to hear that, but I think
definitely. And one thing I saw earlier on was he was the striker you didn't need, but now you can't do without. And it's very much like that. It's like when Cristiano Ronaldo come in, did everyone feel like Man United needed him? No, it's probably more of a luxury and a great buy that will probably push him up in the league. But then that turned into a player who now they can't live without. Like how are you going to replace Cristiano Ronaldo now?
You can't.
Like, who is going to come in?
Yeah, we spoke about it last night. Who's out there? Who's going to
come in? There's not that many of the top elite strikers or the big names. And as you said earlier about Chelsea showing some interest, they were after Haaland, and it is a drop down Cristiano Ronaldo from Haaland, because you're talking about the equivalent 15 years younger. Like it's not that's not the way forward. Cristiano Ronaldo for Chelsea is not the way forward.
No. They sold him the deal, didn't they?
Yeah.
They sold him the deal last year. The fact that Varane come in, he's your mate. Bring Varane in. We've got Sancho in the side. He's coming in.
And on paper, you'd look at that and be like, this actually looks exciting. This could be a decent team.
I tipped them for the title.
It just never materialised. I think I threw that out there as well. Materialised. Another signing, a potential replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo, Paulo Dybala.
Clan frauds. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're on about.
Paulo Dybala, in talks with Manchester United, unfollowed, fools, liars, garbage. A week later, the news is out. Steve, what's the latest on this one?
Just like the amount of times this is happening recently, just follow the transfer exchange show. If people don't know by now, I don't know. I really don't. Hopefully by the end of the window, everybody will. We're honest to the T. We only put out what's true. Paulo Dybala, Manchester United representatives has met the agents of Paulo Dybala 4 days ago. We told you on the Twitter page. Everyone went absolutely ape and didn't believe it. News today has been reported by other outlets, including Sky Sports today, that United are looking seriously into bringing the Argentine in to replace the imminent departure of Cristiano Ronaldo. And this one makes sense to me. This Man United ain't got the money.
All the time.
Yeah. That's a great point. All the time. He's there. He's waiting. I'm telling you, we reported about Dybala a lot longer than 4 days ago as well. We put a tweet out there saying about that he was having talks with Manchester United a long while ago before this. And it's one I think they should get done. Sky Sports are reporting it. And we reported it 4 days ago, and a little while before that as well. But again, once it get done, mate. Once it get done, I think they should do it.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a shrewd signing for Man United. This one, Newcastle want Anthony Gordon. Everton's young. I didn't really know what to make of Anthony Gordon because I hadn't really seen him much, but you just see a lot of him buzzing around in highlights and stuff like that. But what I finally got to see him like in full when he was playing for England, and he's a very tricky player. He's not just quick, not just buzzing around. He's got a lot of skills in his locker, and I think once he settles, once he knows his game a bit more, I think he could be a very, very tidy player.
Yeah, just a bit raw.
Very raw. Very raw. That's what he is.
That's what I would put him at. But it just shows you how things change, Kieran, because like a little while ago, we was Tottenham wanted Anthony Gordon, and they wanted Richarlison. They actually put a bid in for both of them, and it turned around, and Everton turned around and said, "Look, we can't let both of them go." But Newcastle have been in touch. They've been in contact with Everton. They've also been in touch with Anthony Gordon's representatives. And from what I'm hearing, there's going to be a bid of at least around £35 million. And if that figure is right, they can't turn it down.
Yeah, it's hard to turn down. Look, we're talking about a player who's been on the scene for about not even 6 months, really, like properly.
Yeah.
And I've spoken about this previously with a couple of friends, where it's like sometimes clubs need to sell those players at the stage where other clubs don't know. Do you know what I mean? Where you don't know how good he's going to be. And that's where Chelsea are very good at it. Man City are very good at it. They sell them, they get on loan, or they have a couple of games with the first team that they do well, and then clubs are interested. They're like, okay, you can pay top dollar for him. But it's that stage where they don't know whether they've got that consistency, whether they're still growing. Like they're still growing up as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a risk for Newcastle.
35,
it's a calculated risk, and he looks like a tidy player, but he has still got a lot to learn in his game. But 35 million, I think Everton, 35 million for Everton.
Grab your hand off.
You can't. I don't think you can turn that down. You can't turn that down.
No. I think if the rumours are right, what we're hearing, then you got to snap your hands off for him. Because I think Everton probably could get 3 players out of that.
So the Gordon camp must have given them some encouragement if they're going to be going in for the bid then as well.
I would have thought so. I would have thought so. You know, when you hear that the club has spoken to both sides, when they've spoken to the club and they've spoken to the player himself and their representatives, you can guarantee that the club's given them, like what you just said there, they've given them the nod. We know how these things work. Most of the good ways, the proper way how to do it is that you talk to the club first and then you talk to the player afterwards. So if Newcastle have done that way around, which I've been told that they have, then it could be one that he could be playing at Newcastle next season. Is there a lot of difference between the two clubs? I suppose Newcastle, everyone's talking.
But like where Newcastle are going and Everton were just last season, I'm going Newcastle. I ain't staying Everton.
I tell you what though. There's still I think they still need to get Newcastle a couple of players who are a bit tasty. Do you know what I mean? Know those tasty names, a couple of tasty names, and they got Gamures, but they was linked with Ekititi, which seems to have blown right out the window at the last minute. They got players like Taggart in. I just feel that they need that extra. They need that Moussa Diaby one that they're going for. They need to whack down the 60 million that Bayer Leverkusen want. And go for that type of name for me to have a challenge for top 6. Yeah,
it's that European, it's that Champions League, Europa League quality player that they need to go and get in. But the bigger names of that end, or the mid names of the Champions League, the up and coming names, because they're not, they can't go out and do what other teams have done previously and go and try and buy every single top name out there. It just gets silly. You'll end up like look at QPR. How they end up. They end up with a club full of mercenaries, and they couldn't get them off the books. And they're only just getting these types of players off the books now, and there's still players in their team that are on 15, 20, 30Ks and stuff like that, because other players come in and go, well, if he's on this, I'm on that. So it's very hard to bring that wage structure down. You've got
that's important.
And that's the thing. Newcastle have to be careful. They're not going out and going silly. Look, they can do what they did previously and go out and look. Newcastle were known for buying the gems, the up and comings, all the players who they made that move, and they need something, a fresh start. And they brought in the likes of Philippe Albert, David Ginola, Tino Asprilla, later on Laurent Robert, and all of these players. Like they bought these were like the names, but not quite the top names. They were the up and coming names. I think if Newcastle do that, then I think they're on the right way. And if we've seen with the likes of Bruno Gomes, we've seen that they've got an eye for that. They're going for players like Moussa Diaby. That for me makes sense.
I think they're doing it the right way, though. I do think they're doing it the right way. I mean, Newcastle fans were getting a little bit carried away, when the takeover happened, and they say, "Oh, we've got to get Dembele, and we're going to get Lewandowski. Well, let's get Ireland." And it was never going to happen. These players, you're never going to get those players yet. You've got to be in and amongst the top four. But I think even before those players even think about coming to your club. But if you've got the money, players like Anthony Gordon, a couple of years' time could be one of the best players in the Premiership. Who knows?
All right. Oh, I forgot these ones while I was there on Man United. Frenkie de Jong, Laporte coming out and saying, "No, we are not selling him." How comes his tune is? I don't know whether his tune has changed or what game he's kind of playing. Is it they're not going to sell him now, and he just wants to make out that it was never going to happen, or what's the coup? Because they're always playing games, Barcelona.
Frenkie de Jong don't want to go. Again, the things I've been called over the last 6 weeks. What I've been saying about Frenkie de Jong and tweets that we've both putting out on the channel is ridiculous. We've told you all along, he doesn't want to go to Manchester United. I've had it from the highest source that you could possibly get. And as I said, when we talk about the best source you can get to get Frenkie de Jong, whether he wants to join Man United or not, other than his mum and dad, do you know what I mean? You ain't going to get better. Think about it. Have a think about it. You ain't going to get better. You ain't. You're not. Have a think. And I'm not talking about Fabrizio Romano. And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you another thing. Go above that. I'll tell you another thing. Above and beyond. If Frenkie de Jong did want to join Manchester United, do you not think I would be posting it? Do you not think I would want to put it out there that Frenkie de Jong wants to join Man United? Do you know why? Because the page would blow up. Every single social media platform the Transfer Exchange was on would blow up. If we went, he wants to join, he's joining. But there's no point in saying that, because we know that that's not the case. If the situation would have changed, of course we would have updated and said that, but it didn't. And no, 6 weeks ago, Well, 6 weeks ago, we started this. We said, look, it's not happening. He don't want to go, right? And we've seen it all along. Journalist after journalist, transfer account after transfer account. Yes, he does. His deal's done. They're in talks. They've never been in talks. They're still not in talks. They're not in talks now. As I just said to you, I can't get even more. I can't explain to you how high the contact is that I talk to, right, who tells me he does not want to go to Manchester United. Now, Manchester United fans, before you want to come and lynch me or come on my page and slaughter me, right, that doesn't mean that he doesn't like Manchester United. And if he's at his dream club. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally.
Frenkie de Jong said he wanted to go the Overmars or the Ajax route, which was ending up at Barcelona. He missed the middle team and went straight to Barcelona. So, it's going to take a lot for Frenkie de Jong to want to leave Barcelona. As we said, he would have to get pushed out. And even then, they're having to tell him to his face, Frenkie, you got to go.
Yeah,
And
but
then
right from a month ago, you're talking about like, well, we would have put it up, right? Every single journalist, right? Every single journalist has gone. Personal terms agreed. It's getting close. I know Ten Hag's talking. His representative has been over, which is absolutely hilarious when I considering when the source I've got that I couldn't stop laughing, right? But every single time a bit of this news come out, we put on our Twitter page rubbish. It's not true. It's rubbish, and we got hammered. Now, right today, Joan Laporte, right? We've already had word from him in the middle of the week. Frenkie de Jong is a Barcelona player. We do not want to sell him unless we have no other choice. We know there are offers for him, but we do not want to sell him. Now, he is saying that not because he's trying to put the blame on Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong has got 2 years left on his contract. Frenkie de Jong does not have to go anywhere. They cannot cut his wages because he's in a contract. That is all bullshit, right? Excuse my French. Mm-hmm. And it's getting to a point now where they're trying to con Man United fans, and I don't like that because we started up this page, the Transfer Exchange Show. We started it up for the exact reason, right? And that's probably why we get called fraud and all this type of stuff, right? But look, let's get it right, okay? If Frenkie de Jong's not wanted behind the scenes, and if Laporta is saying all this, then there's a chance. There's a chance, and it ain't because it's just he does not want to go. He wants to stay in Barcelona. It's his dream club. He doesn't have to drop wages, right? He can't drop wages, right? Unless he's got something written in his contract. I don't know what more to say. Things can change. Yes, things can change, and we'll have to wait and see. Is it certain that he's going to stay at Barcelona? No, because it's in the transfer world, and Frenkie de Jong might turn around and say, "Okay, if you don't want me, I don't want to be at a place where I'm not wanted." Yeah. But at the same time, Xavi wants him to stay. Yeah, Xavi wants him to stay.
What you've got to remember, is this is a World Cup year. So when we say that things can change, it's because situations can change. If Barcelona turn around and say, "Look, you're not in our plans. We brought in this player, and we want to go a different route," he will leave because he doesn't want to jeopardise his place in the World Cup team because he can't be sitting on the Barcelona's bench. He needs, and if they're saying, "Look, you got to go. We're selling you," like he's going to go. But that's not the case. That's not the case. And Laporta coming out today and saying we had never had any intention of selling him, and unless something ridiculous happens, he ain't going nowhere. That for me says that Man United needs to start looking elsewhere, and the Man United fans need to get over that move because for me it's not happening. But as we said, things can change.
Yeah, I mean he could be saying it for Man United. I mean Man United, and we know Man United and Barcelona have spoken. That's right. We're saying that Joe Laporta is saying what he said to make it look like it's De Jong's fault, right? But maybe he's saying it because he's thought, I've had a word with Man United and I've told them that we will sell him and go. And then De Jong's came in, right, and said, "I ain't going nowhere. I don't want to go. I don't care. I'm not going. I'm not going." And then Xavi's gone into his office and said, "What are you doing? He's an integral part of my season next season. I don't want to sell him. You're mad." And he's in contract, people. I think he's in contract. He don't have to go nowhere. No.
Exactly. All right. So where we at? Lisandro Martinez. Latest report came out that I just saw before we came on saying that he wants to join Man United. What's your latest on that, Steve?
Well, I don't know how latest that was, mate. How long ago it was, but the latest what I had, he was, as we said yesterday, it was literally a toss of a coin. Personal teams were agreed. The fee wasn't a problem. It was just a matter of choice. I'd heard that he felt Arsenal was looking like the better project because Manchester United was all a little bit up in the air. But there is the Ten Hag factor, and as I said on last night's show, that it was a matter of flicking up a coin who he was going to choose, because personal terms were agreed. He wanted to come to the Premiership. It was either Arsenal or Manchester United, and that's about where it is. We can't really go no further than that because there's nowhere else to go. It's just a matter of now waiting for the players' decision to say, I'm signing for Arsenal or I'm signing for Manchester United.
All right. Tyler Adams in talks with Leeds. A deal that's looks like it could happen. Replacement for Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, clown, fraud. What are you talking about? He's not coming here. Tyler Adams, you don't know what you're talking about, mate. Phillips ain't going.
Oh,
He's
the Phillips one.
Staying the league. What are you
Phillips
talking about?
Great personal terms with Manchester City. No, they haven't. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
Got absolutely slaughtered. It was all in. It was put in the same tweet, exactly the same tweet on the page. You can go and have a look at yourself. Tyler Adams has joined Leeds from RB Leipzig in a deal worth 20 million plus add-ons. We posted it ages ago. Got absolutely rinsed by people on our page saying that Phillips wasn't going nowhere and he was staying at Leeds. And Tyler Adams is no way is he coming to Leeds. Well, Phillips has gone to Manchester City and Tyler Adams today signed for RB Leipzig. Thank you very much. Not much more to say.
All right. Leeds also got or tying up a deal for Luis Siniesta of Feyenoord. The Colombian looks like an exciting player. 37 goal contributions in 49 games last season. So it'd be interesting to see how he does next season for Leeds. Another one that just before was announced on Sky Sports. Raheem Sterling's agreed personal terms with Chelsea. It's a deal that's going to get done personally.
Yeah.
It's been going on for about 2 weeks now. That it's like serious, and it after the initial thought of whether Raheem Sterling would join Chelsea, it very much seemed like that it was a destination that he was like happy to go with. Any more on that one, Steve?
No, as you've already said it there, mate. It's done. It's a deal that'll be touching around, the 45 million mark. Chelsea
additional 10 million on what they first bid then.
Yeah. We said, didn't we? We said a little while ago that it wasn't enough, and because they wanted to get a certain amount for Jesus and Sterling. So they've certainly gone up quite a bit, to be fair. Deal worth about 45. City and Chelsea, they've agreed. I've been told it was agreed last week. And he'd be on massive wages there. I've been told that he could be earning touching around 200k a week. He'll be one of the Chelsea's top earners. So, good signing. Can he repeat his form that he did for City? If he can, they're going to be a danger next season.
All right. Yeah, Chelsea are going to be a danger. Then they're not messing around. Okay, I think we're down to Arsenal news now. Youri Tielemans bid incoming. He's the latest one today. 30 million pounds, was it? Yeah,
28. Well, I was told 28. I told you. I have since we put this out this morning. I've started to see a couple of reliable accounts. I would say mentioned 30. We did say in the region of 28. So we was right really. It's round about that. Again, we're something that we mentioned last week. Something that we said that we was waiting. We put the tweet out saying that this week was going to be the time that they was going to start talks again. They have. So again, something that we got spot on. He's told Leicester that he wants to leave and he wants to sign for Arsenal. We pretty much knew this anyway. And now it's down to Leicester to accept the Arsenal's offer, which, as we've already said there, which is in the region of 28 million. And again, this will be a dynamite signing for Arsenal if we can get Youri Tielemans for in the region of 28 million. But they've been talking to him for over a year now, and when you're talking to a player that long, and we're talking to him in January, we wanted him in January. It's one of them ones that I'll be shocked if we don't get done. I don't think Leicester will hold him against his will.
Yeah, after I. There's a question from Owen. He says, "Is it true that Arsenal are working on signing a winger, and it's yet to be reported who it is?" As Fabrizio was reporting it later that he has an indication who it is, but won't say. I don't know of Fabrizio having news and won't say. That'd be interesting to see who that is. I wouldn't say that he has news and won't say. Yeah, I'd say he has news, but he's waiting for confirmation because it's risky for someone in this game. Yeah, who's like it's time sensitive news is transfer news. So if
it's a waste of a tweet.
If he holds a transfer news that might be an exclusive, someone else puts it out, then it's after the fact. So I'm guessing if he does know something, he's probably just waiting for confirmation from someone who he can trust a little bit more.
It's possible, like it's feasible for Arsenal to get a winger, especially if it's a right-sided winger later in the window. That's very feasible because we are looking, or Arsenal are looking for competition for Saka. So it's more than feasible, and it'd be something I would have thought been Arsenal's maybe not priority. I would have thought someone in left back and someone in the midfield would be priority, and then afterwards they would look at something like that. But certainly feasible.
Yeah. So the Arsenal could very much be working on the winger, but Fabrizio Romano hiding news because he won't say. For me, I think that's a bit, as I said there, I think that's a bit far-fetched. I think it's probably other reasons if he is holding back news. Someone else said in the comment section here, what I will say is, Arsenal fans, you will go search high and low for news which counteracts the news that you fully believe in. Like, you'll be like, double down, and you'll be like, Tielemans is signing. You will go to the outbacks of the Amazon rainforest to find a news article that tells you that Tielemans currently don't like Mikel Arteta.
You're on the plane trackers already, aren't you? You're on the plane tracking.
Like, just relax yourself, yeah? Like, and this is why I'm saying that. Can you go through the Tielemans news? There's a report from Belgium saying he isn't Arsenal's first choice. Is that potentially SMS? Well, as we said before, and as Edu has said, go and watch Edu's the Fabio Vieira interview from Edu, where he says Arsenal do not do these moves on a whim. They don't just. It's not just look for a player in the summer. They've been looking around he's working on this player for a year. They've been working on this player for 8 months, 6 months. Like, these deals that Arsenal are trying to get through now have already been worked on. They've already assessed the player. They already know who they want to get in. So there's not going to be like Youri Tielemans is a priority for Arsenal, and you can see that by the way that they've tracked him, talking to him in January. Talking to him here. So when the news came out that Arsenal bought Fabio Vieira and other people said that the interest had cooled in Youri Tielemans, it didn't make sense. Because why would Arsenal spend a year tracking Youri Tielemans, also spend 8 months tracking Fabio Vieira, and then get Vieira and then not go through with Tielemans? It doesn't make sense. They're not even the same player. One's an attacking midfielder, just sits behind the strikers, and one who can play anywhere in that midfield, and that's what he's coming in for. Youri Tielemans be a very, very good signing. What else have we got there? Steve, did you have anything else? I think I'm done.
Yeah, few little things. Andrews Pereira to Fulham. He's got his medical tomorrow. That will be a £10 million deal with plus £3 million in add-ons. I think another good signing for Fulham. They seem to be I think that's about their fourth one of the window so far. They seem to be really going for it big time. I dare say that they don't want to sort of automatically go straight back down next season. We've also got someone to Arsenal fans, Jack Wilshere. He's confirmed that he has quit Danish side AGF Arius after 4 months. That was done by mutual agreement. And Manchester United are still heavily interested in Anthony. They value him at around about 50 million, but Ajax want a lot more than that. You know, they want about 70. But again, this is like what we was talking about early on, Manchester United fans and anybody out there who wants to listen. You've got Dybala and you've got Anthony. You've got Dybala who you can pick up on a free, and you've got Anthony who will probably cost you around about, in the end, probably about 60 million. It's a big amount, and Dybala is class. Another thing that we put up on the page the other day, I've been told to expect an announcement to Middlesbrough of right back to Spurs, Jed Spence, in the next couple of days. So expect an announcement. I'm hearing that's like mega close now. I've been told it's done and that it'll be announced on sometime at the end of this week. So keep an eye out on that one, Spurs fans. And also Steven Bergwijn, as you know, again from Spurs, signed for Ajax and in a deal for which I think they've got a good price for him for like £30 million. So Spurs getting a lot of players in, they're getting a lot of players out. They're doing some good business.
All right. Top work there, Steve. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, everyone. Make sure you press that like and subscribe. If you are new to the show, press that subscribe button, show your support. If you are a regular, press the like button, press that share, and press copy. Yeah, that's all you've got to do. You ain't got to share it. Just press copy. Play the game, do you know what I mean? Play the game. All right. Yeah. Thank you for joining us tonight, Steve.
Cheers, mate. Enjoyed it. Pleasure.
All right. Make sure you go and follow the Transfer Exchange Show. Make sure you go and follow the Twitter. Make sure you go and follow the the Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. All for that, and go and follow Steve on his Twitter. Yeah. Steve, what's your Twitter handle? Yeah, it's Steve K. Just Steve and just the letter K. 9KS1 TV, and yeah, you can follow me on there and get all the latest transfer news first. All right, people. Thank you very much for joining us in there. I see some regular names. I see some new names as well, so I'm expecting a couple of new subscribers. Appreciate it. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.